What up, ladies and gentlemen of the wrestling world? I am B-Train from those Missouri guys. And well, let's just cut to the chase, shall we? Who does Ryback remind us all of? Yeah, I had to do that. I had to get that out of my system. Basically, he is the modern day Goldberg, but basically according to him, he says that he's better than Bill Goldberg. I beg to differ because, like I said before in other videos, I am a traditional old school wrestling fan. Old school meaning goes further than the Attitude Era, it goes back to the Rock and Roll era and so forth. Aside from all that rambling, this reminds me of the storyline between Hulk Hogan and Bill Goldberg. How do I mention this? Well, Hogan thought everybody was going against him and had to have at him. But what boggles my mind is no, that's kind of an unfair comparison. I mean, CM Punk, if he were to be the leader of the NWO, would he be a good leader? Because obviously, you know, the Straight Edge Society and Nexus kind of flunked. But we're, you know, moving on throughout the discussion. Basically, what I believe, you know, going on right now with the storyline is that CM Punk and Ryback, because it you know, to me, John Cena could not make it because they obviously didn't want him having the risk of being hurt more during a Hell in a Cell. Obviously, I would have thoroughly enjoyed seeing that, and I'm sure I'm not the only one alone. As far as continuity and storyline goes, I'm getting off the beaten path here as usual. As far as continuity and storyline goes right now, I'm not going to sit back and be nice anymore because I tried last week, you know, when they actually involved physicality on live air. And then this week, it seems to me that they're kind of peeling back the layers just a little bit of PG, but not quite. Somebody mentioned earlier in the comment section, don't get your hopes up, the Attitude Era is not returning. I know this, because obviously with the direction they're going is, they're just plugging off other storylines, you know, like, I don't know, Goldberg and Hogan, and I'll mention it again. Because, as far as I'm concerned, the entire mode that this company is in desperation mode. They're great with charities, they're great with other things. When it comes to pay-per-views, the only thing that seems to be saving their bacon is Royal Rumble and WrestleMania and a few of the other pay-per-views. I want to say something nice about WWE, but for the moment, no. Because obviously, if you keep clamping a lid on Paul Heyman and not letting him do anything very villainous or very, you know, heel-like, he is supporting Punk, and to some people that's heel enough. I think if anybody had a brain, they would allow Heyman to talk. Now, considering what happened tonight and what I saw, you let John Cena use the word ass and, you know, ass whip. I mean, he didn't seem too comfortable with using profanity on live television, and it showed. Ryback, who barely says anything, just made me laugh because it's like, okay, we know what's coming. Shell shock. Big shocker there. Oh, and let's face it. I know that a lot of people don't watch my channel because of the negativity, but it's better to be brutally honest about something than it is to sugarcoat things and focus only on one superstar, right? I focus on the main guys that are involved in the main storyline. I don't like jumping around and saying, well, this match was this and this match was that. Honest to God, if I'm going to sit here and do that, you might as well hit the snooze button, because it's going to bore you to death. Because tonight, the main attraction was the contract signing. I only tuned in to watch maybe some of the Kofi Kingston versus Miz match, but I, honest to God, wanted so badly to see the contract signing who CM Punk was going to pick. And for obvious reasons, the storyline leaned to Ryback as John Cena's replacement. And while that was happening, Yeah, God! Yes! Yes! You know, for the love of God, I can't ever get anything in without interruptions around this joint. But aside from... you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do just one sampling for you guys of how, you know, profanities can be fun. If you like to see John Cena get his ass whipped on Monday Night Raw when he comes back,
give me a hell yeah!
That's how it's done. It may be bland from other people's points of view that have seen that a million times from me, but honest to God, John, learn how to work a microphone, because your voice cracked tonight. It doesn't matter what John does, because honestly, every one of us know that when he comes back, since he kisses Vince's ass so much, the whole company's going to revolve around him, because it's going to be nearing the time when The Rock returns, right? By that time, John Cena will return. Before then, I think The Rock more or less wants to face CM Punk more than he does John Cena. Because, if you haven't noticed, on other wrestling sites, there have been postings saying that one of the writers does not want to see that match. Now, I know I personally wouldn't, because the magnitude of the match, there just isn't any hype left for it. You gotta have a few components, in my opinion, when you have a main event match. Ryback and Punk is interesting. There's one. Does it have continuity? In ways, yes and no. Yes, it's interesting because we haven't seen these two face off before. No, because, to be quite honest, this replacement just doesn't fit the bill. And if CM Punk beats him and embarrasses him in Atlanta, then I'm just going to be honest with you, I'm going to laugh in Vince's face and the board of directors and the people who thought of this idea. Because you do realize this is inside Hell in a Cell. CM Punk could use something like a pair of handcuffs, or he could use kendo sticks, chairs. It's a devil's playground. Hell in a Cell is the devil's playground for every single wrestler that has been through that, including The Undertaker, who... Okay, I didn't know that was going to go on, but basically, God, he didn't come through that door. That scared me just a little bit. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is, before I wrap things up, is I don't know if I agree with this move as a replacement. I would have rather seen a triple threat. That way, this would have been the trifecta from hell, but it still would have been interesting. However, John has to have surgery and was not cleared to wrestle, whatever the case may be. You know, guys, I figured this much. When it's in Atlanta, this is the ironic part. This is the irony, in my opinion. Goldberg made a lot of impressions in his hometown city of Atlanta, Georgia, and basically faced off with Hogan and several other wrestlers from WCW, Kevin Nash, Mr. Perfect, you name it, and he had the same undefeated streak going, but nobody was holding up signs, or has been holding up signs, I should say, for Ryback for his undefeated streak. They just keep chanting, "Feed me more. Feed me more." I mean, it's no different than when guys were chanting, Goldberg, Goldberg. That's all I'm going to say. And for him to go into Hell in a Cell, never having been inside that steel structure, I'm only going to tell you this. Heyman and Punk probably have a brilliant plan and strategize on how to do this. If they decide to take the title off Punk, it's just going to be one of those things for me as one of his fans that'll say, gee, now we know where the company really, or what the company really thinks of CM Punk. Great build-up? Somewhat. My opinion again. Is there backing? Is there kind of hype towards this match? No. Not really. I don't know what else to say other than this might backfire in Vince's face for the storyline. This environment of Hell in a Cell favors CM Punk. Believe it or not. Doesn't matter if you're an ass kicker or not. If you don't believe me, I mean, there have been guys, okay, I'll give you another one, Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker. Nobody really thought that Lesnar would have a chance in hell. But then, then again, Undertaker had a cast on and really couldn't defend himself all too well, but Brock Lesnar still came out the victor, right? Nobody really favored him. So, I'm going to leave you with the thought of, this might blow your mind, pipe bomb, that CM Punk will come out victorious at Hell in a Cell. And if he doesn't, I can only tell you the ratings will drop even more. Just saying, from a reality perspective, if Vince takes a wrong gamble on this and allows Ryback to win the title, the WWE might as well go to sleep. I am B-Train from those Missouri guys. I will leave you to think about that. And